Welcome to this video. In this video we are going to whip the end of a line or a rope and so that it prevents this type of fraying action that happens. As this goes through, you're not going to be able to get it through cleats. It becomes much more difficult to manage. So we're going to whip the end of this rope, and we are going to use this very thin rope here, thin line, that's going to be used to do the whipping. What else you're going to need? You're going to need a sharp knife. You're going to want a lighter or a heat source so that you can burn the edge. It keeps it from fraying at the end. And then I have a cutting board so I don't ruin my table. So the first thing is we want to take about a foot of this line. Okay. Let me get this stuff out of the way here. And there's a couple ways to do this. One is you're going to fold it in this way. You're going to fold it in about 2 or 3 inches on the end. Probably 2 is best, depending on how much whipping you're going to do. If you just want a small whipping, you're going to have a smaller whipping line. If you want it larger, then you're going to this line will have to be a lot larger. If the diameter of your rope or your line is also thicker, you're going to need more to be able to make more wraps around the rope. Alright, so the way I do it is I like to come across this way, and so that the end here is where the good part of the line is. And the reason is this allows me to control where I want to start for the end of the line. And what you're going to do is once you put it on there, you're going to put your thumb on it to hold it tight, and then you're going to start winding around. And when you come up around the next wind, you're going to go on the inside, and you're going to keep working your way, keeping it nice and tight, working your way around until you have just a little bit of the whipping line left. And you can see how it's tightening up. Now this particular line that I'm whipping does not have a core in the middle. If you did have a core, what happens is this whipping process would bind the outside sheath with the inner core and keep it from moving. So your sheath would stay in one spot. Now this is coming to the end. I can probably do one more, but I think I'm going to leave it there. And then you're going to take this end and run it through the loop. So you're going to put it right through the loop. Probably should have worn my glasses before I started this. Alright, there we go. And so you have the loop, you have the line, and on this end you left a little bit hanging. And we're going to grab that and we're going to start pulling. And before you make it too tight, you want to make sure that everything lines up, is nice and flat. There's no unraveling happening. And there you go. It's tight. However, it's only tight to the end. What we want to do is we want to pull enough that this connection piece here, where it went through the loop, actually gets pulled underneath about halfway on the whipping. All right? So you're going to take some action here. You're going to pull it through. You may want pliers to do this part. Okay. You can see it worked its way underneath. I probably should get it a little bit more. Alright. And that's it. So you have just whipped this end of this line, but now you have all this extra that you need to cut off. You have the ends here you want to cut off. So let's clean this up a little bit. We're going to take this end, and you don't want to cut it too close. Just leave a little bit hanging. So about that much. Okay. And on this side you want to do the same thing. Leave about, I'd say maybe 1/8 of an inch. You can also use scissors if you have really sharp pair of scissors. Okay. Alright, so now this is what it should look like. You have a little bit of fraying on the end, you have a nice whipping on here, and you have a little bit of whipping right here, whipping line. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to burn off the edges. I like to start with this one, and you want to make sure you don't actually burn your line, and you don't want it to flame up like it did there. Okay. And then also on the other side. Okay. And I like to go around it. You know, I don't care about the end of the lighter here because I don't want to burn my fingers. And then this will cool pretty fast, and it will be slightly larger, and this will prevent the whipping from working its way off the end because it will be a little bit larger than the whipping. But if you notice, it's not larger than the line itself, so it maintains its diameter here. Okay, and then you just go ahead and do the other side, and we'll do the same thing. Thank you for watching this whipping video, and I have a couple lines that I'm going to go through. I'm going to go ahead and do these, and these lines will be then used in my other videos dealing with tying different types of knots. Thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video.